Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at something very big and very impressive called the Pteras Bombing System, which is this glorious thing right here. So this is a giant mechanized vehicle that can walk, it can fly, it can fold its wings, and it even has custom missiles you can launch from the back of it. It comes with a base for you to store it on, which is capable of rebuilding and reloading the rockets that you fire from the back. Now if you're wondering why you've probably seen this video before, it's because you have, and I miss out quite a lot with my previous video and basically royally fucked up. So I'm trying it again and hopefully it'll be a lot better. Pressing F10 and finding the Terra in the spawn menu, here it is. This thing is 9,865 large blocks, using the Sparks of the Future, Decorative Block number 2 and the Wasteland DLC pack, and no mods. It uses two scripts, which is Whip's salvo script for our rocket launcher, and it's got a homing script for the custom missiles on the back. So we'll give this a little thumbs up, then move all the way down to its feet and work our way up to its head. So starting over here, tell my character to bugger off, there we go. So these are the feet of the mech in lovely light and dark grey blocks, and they're being connected up to the base via a merge block right here. And this merge block can be disconnected by pressing the yellow button right over there when you spawn it in for the first time. If we were to move all the way up, we'll come over to these blue blocks, they'll eventually move all the way up to the main body. The legs have all been rotated up so they can move around when you walk, and we've got some hydrogen thrusters to help us fly around. Moving all the way up to here, these are our arms where we've got our reloadable rocket launchers, which will fire on our salvo script, and they're being carefully hidden away via some projectors, projecting a exhaust block. Continuing all the way up to here, this is our head, where we'll be able to fly this thing around. It's been sensored up, so when we were to get all the way close to it, it'll then open up automatically to allow us to get inside all nice and proper. And once we sit in the seat, it will fold down automatically. We'll get a lovely LCD screen in front of us telling us what it can do. Coming out of there and continuing along, these are our wings that can fold up into different shapes at the press of a button. Moving all the way around to the very back of them, there we go. And as we move towards the main body of the mech, once again, these are our custom missiles that have two warheads on the front of them to make a nice big hole through your enemies. Atmospheric thrusters so they can only fly on a planet. They've got some batteries just to power themselves and a gyroscope so they know what they're doing. Yes, these are simply connected on via a rotor, which will disconnect once we press a button and fire them towards our enemies. We've also got some good use of the letter blocks on the side there, which spell RZ010. And as we move all the way down, we can see a few more hydrogen thrusters, and this is our tail right here, which comes all the way down to the base. As for the base itself, we've got these lovely wheels that spin around and around and around, thanks to the constantly moving rotors, and this is how we're going to get it to move all the way to the front and snap on to the merge blocks once again. So we simply plop ourselves down, and it will very carefully move ourselves forwards, so we don't have to precisely drop this thing onto the platform. We've also got these arms and little boxes in front of them. That is for rebuilding the missiles, which I'll showcase a bit later on. Yes, as for that, that is pretty much it for a brief look around the outside. It's a very impressive thing. And now I'm just going to get into my character, because it's time to take control of it. Pressing I coming into the control menu, scrolling all the way up, we'll then have these Terra control. Scrolling down, we'll take control, and now we've got some buttons to press. So number one on our hotbar is to turn on the hydrogen thrusters all the way around this ship. So once we've done that, we can now properly fly around. Pressing spacebar will now lift ourselves away from the station like so. And just going into this and zooming out, we can press number 2 to switch ourselves to flight mode. We'll then fold all the way around like so. We can tilt ourselves nice and proper and fly like a ship. So just flying around like so, it's very nice stuff. Number 3 is our brake thrust, so if you want to glide around, we can simply switch them off at the front there. Then once we start moving forwards, we're not going to be slowing down anytime soon. But I'll just put that back on for the moment. Number 4 is to fill in the gaps on our wings, so if you don't like having the holes in there, you can just press that and solve the situation. Number 5 is for our parachutes, just in case you need it when landing this thing or say you ran out of fuel. Number 7 and number 8 is for folding our wings, so pressing number 7 once, they're going to fold all the way around like so and tuck just behind us. There we are. If I was to bring the free camera all the way over so we can get a better view at that, all the way around, just put my light on and press number 7 once again, and then fold back to their neutral position. And there we go. Coming back into my character and pressing in number 8, this will then tuck it all the way behind us. So if we want to do some repair work on the arms, we now move them completely out of the way, and we've got a good view at the thrusters on the side there. And then we can press number 9 to fire the rockets at the front on our salvo script. So there we go. If I switch over to tab number 2, we then got our camera, which is just in front of our cockpit, so we get a good view in front of us. Pressing number 2 is a projector block that will give us a aiming reticle. And 3 and 4 is for our custom missiles on the back. So we're aiming all the way forwards like so. We're now going to press number 3. It's just going to lift up and fire all the way forwards. And then for number 4, we'll come into our camera and make sure our reticle is ready. In fact, we'll turn all the way around like so and shoot it at the mountainside. So pressing 4, it'll then launch up and it'll hopefully go all the way over to there and blow it up. And there it goes, it's just exploded and left a nice hole. Coming out there and pressing number 5, this is our brakes once again to allow us to glide all the way forwards. And then number 6 and number 7 is for walking around on the ground. So just switching ourselves back into walking mode, like so. Now we're just going to drop ourselves down onto the ground, very carefully, and then we're going to switch off our thrusters. Coming back to tab number 2 and pressing number 6, we'll then start our walking animation. We'll simply mosey on along the ice until we get to our destination. Pressing number 7 will stop the walking animation and put ourselves back to neutral. There we go. And at number 9, which is something that I missed out in my previous video, is to reload the rockets. But to do that, we need to get back to the base. So just flying all the way around to here and moving ourselves all the way back. So we're just going to drop ourselves down, switch off the thrusters, like so, and we should move ourselves all the way along to the front very, very slowly, like it is right now. We'll then get these 2 little parts which will push us along to make sure we're nice and centered, so we will snap onto those merge blocks. Bring the free camera all the way over so we can get a better view, like so. And we'll get all the way over to here and snap itself in place. Then we can watch the animation of it rebuilding the missiles and loading it onto it. Just grabbing my character and coming out because I did forget one little thing right in front of us, which is a very important thing. It's this part right here. So there was an LCD screen at the front there that tells you how to disconnect it from the station by pressing yellow. And we can press the red button to acknowledge it, where it will simply just remove itself, yeet off into the distance, and blow up after a few seconds. Yes, now I can get back into here. We're all firmly connected onto the station. And it's time to take control of it once again and press number 9. So just going to bring the camera all the way around over to here, make sure the lighting is nice and proper for this because it's very impressive stuff. I'm going to press number 9. And now we can see the projectors have projected the missiles. The arms are now moving all the way up. We can see a welder coming out of that little container part. And it's going to start rebuilding it. All the way over to here, hiding the HUD. It is a little bit laggy, not too much I can do about that. But there it goes, the arms are folding all the way forwards. And the warheads have now been completed. The arm has now connected itself onto it. And is going to lift itself up and move it to the mech. So there we go, it's now going to wobble all the way up. Very impressive stuff, I can't believe I missed this out. Folds all the way around. And up it goes. And just pulling away very quickly. There's the arms stretching to their full length, moving all the way over to here. It's now going to plop itself onto there. It should disconnect in a few seconds. There we go. And now the wings will automatically fold back around again. Missiles will lower and we're ready to fire them once again. Extremely impressive stuff, and I am sorry to Black Armor for missing that out in the previous video. So there we go, we're now ready to fly it around, and we're ready to shoot the missiles once again. And just because of how fancy it is, I will just fold the wings once more, so pressing number 7. There we go, they'll just fold all the way around like so. And then pressing it once more, we'll go back to our neutral position. and then pressing number 8. There we go. But that is it for the Pteras Bombing System. It's a very impressive mech to play around with some very impressive, very fancy reloading mechanics for the missiles on the back, the folding wings, and of course the walking. So if you do wish to play around with it yourself, there'll be a link to it in the description below, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.